On BBC Radio Shropshire. Now, here's an interesting question for you. Have you ever heard of something called the quit rents ceremony? No, I didn't think you would have done. But it's something that dates back 813 years. It's one of the oldest legal ceremonies in the country. But luckily, my next guest knows all about it as he's taking part. Tim Ashton is from Salton Hall in Wem and joins me now. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Claire.
So how on earth did this opportunity come about then?
As I think some of your listeners may know, we've been attending to the legacy of Sir Rowland Hill here for the last few years. And he was Lord Mayor of London in 1549-50. And as part of the ceremonies tomorrow, an address needs to be given, and I'm going to do that. And it will be on Sir Rowland Hill and the duties of Plato's guardians, which is part of his legacy.
So you're going to be you're doing a talk about who is old Sir Rowland, is that right?
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly it.
How long does that last?
It will be 10 minutes. I will publish the remarks on the Salton Hall website afterwards so that they can be seen by people in Shropshire, because I'm aware it's 150 miles away and it's happening tomorrow. So,
how often have you done anything like this?
Well, I've never participated in the quit rent ceremony. Yeah, it's quite an unusual thing for me to do, to be honest with you. But I have spoken in public on these matters on a number of occasions, but not in part of the cities of London's rituals.
Okay, can you tell everybody then about the quit rent ceremony? Because it's obviously a unique and ancient tradition, but not everybody will have heard of it.
Yeah, well, it has Shropshire connections, and these are to do with some land in Shropshire. And the ceremony, as you said, has been going on for over 8 centuries and is older than Magna Carta, and essentially allows London to set out its unique constitutional status within England. And some rent is paid for some fields with some horseshoes and some knives and some nails. And the Crown declines to take these, which shows the independence and importance of London. And yeah, the fields are lost. We don't know where they are anymore because the ceremony's been going on so long, but they are certainly in Shropshire. So
wow, really?
We're going to pay the City of London will pay rent tomorrow for some fields somewhere in this county, but no one actually knows where they are.
And they give it back anyway when they pay the rent?
Yeah, and they pay the rent with nails and knives and horseshoes.
Is this done every year?
It is done every year, yes, and it's very important.
Wow, that is brilliant. And who will be at the ceremony?
Well, the 2 new sheriffs of the City of London will be present. They're appointed every year, and London has the privilege of electing its own sheriffs. Here in Shropshire, they're appointed by the Crown, but London picks its own, and that's an ancient privilege of that place. And it's presided over by the King's Remembrancer, who is the oldest judicial office, I think, in the English-speaking world, possibly the world, full stop.
Wow. And there's all sorts of robes involved, and where will it be held?
It's in the Royal Courts of Justice on Strand, just outside the city on the Temple Bar.
Are you under strict instructions of what to wear?
Personally, I just have to wear a suit because I'm not qualified to wear anything else. But yeah, everybody else will be the sheriffs and the judicial officers and the clerks, etc., will be wearing ceremonial clothing.
It sounds amazing. Are you excited or nervous?
I think so. It's a very exciting opportunity to set before London the work that's going on in Shropshire on Sir Rowland Hill, who's just an immensely important person. And I do actually have to put onto record the fact that his work, narrowly in the moment he was doing it, constituted treason and heresy within Salton Hall in the 1550s. It was later ratified by Parliament, and Elizabeth I and the Archbishop of Canterbury as all being fine. But the emergency of the Reformation period and the Counter-Reformation period required him in his work on harmony to do things that were very illegal. So it's a slightly strange moment to walk into the court with the Lady Chief Justice to go and explain this.
And you're going to get to go to the Lord Mayor's show as well, aren't you?
Yes, so Alistair King has just been appointed the Lord Mayor of London, and I will be a guest of his and Florence, the Lady Mayoress of London, representing Rowland Hill for the platform party on the Lord Mayor's show, which is essentially London's carnival, and it goes back many, many, many years, but it nearly died in the 16th century and was actually revived by Sir Rowland Hill and his friend John Gresham. Because this elaborate ceremony in those days was involving thousands and thousands of people and was personally paid for by the Lord Mayor of London, and the Crown banned it because it was bankrupting people, but they thought it was so important to support art in that way, they brought it back. So yes, I go to that as well. And the silent ceremony the night before, where formally Alistair becomes the Lord Mayor. What's
the most surprising thing about Sir Rowland Hill?
How long have you got? In a way, this is a funny way of putting it, but one of the least, for anybody else, the fact that someone survived an attack by pirates would be in the top 10 most interesting things about him, and it's not even in the top 20.
Maybe you need to come and tell us more about, after you've done your speech, come and do more about him with us.
Sure, there's going to be a lecture at St Chad's Church, hopefully all being well, by James Wen, the scholar who's been working on these matters for my family, because it's not just Salton Hall and Rowland Hill. The whole of Shropshire has been handling immensely important national work, which we've sort of hidden in art. And St Chad's Church, the Flax Mill, Maltings, Ironbridge, all of it is interconnected with this, and that lecture will be very important for the county when it comes off.
Do you know when that is?
Not quite, because we're waiting on a few people, and some people need to recover from being unwell before we can set dates and things.
Worries. But okay, well, do let us know. That would be wonderful. And I hope it all goes well. It sounds amazing, and hopefully we can chat to you after you've done your little chat in London.
Certainly, and I will publish the remarks that I make on the Salton Hall website so the county is able to access them. But I can't do that until I've spoken. So,
okay, wonderful. Have a fabulous time. Thank you. Lovely to talk to you, Tim.
Thank you, my friend. Goodbye.
All right, bye. That's Tim Ashton from Salton Hall in Wem, taking part in the Quit Rents ceremony. We'll keep you up to date with all of that on BBC Radio Shropshire.